Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I was going to kick out of that song. You guys know I do. Hi, this is Dr. Dwayne Wood here on our channel, where tonight we are talking about attitude. And I am not here right now. That's right. We are off having some much needed time with the family, but I wanted to make sure that we had something that we can dig our teeth into. And tonight we're talking about attitude. Do you know anybody with bad attitude? Do you know anybody who just didn't have the right attitude? We're going to be talking about that tonight. And what can we do about it? Ultimately, that's what we want to do, right? If you're new to the area, I'm Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. And here on our channel, we help to educate, we help to empower, and we help to encourage you to take charge of your life and your health. Avoid complications, go to the next level, and get that life that you've always wanted. Also, if you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments, because we would love to welcome you. Welcome you to our area. Welcome you to our channel. If you have questions, go ahead and put those in the chat as well, in the comment section, because we would love to answer those as we look back at the show. Okay. Also, put a Q in front of the question, right? That's what I want you to do. Put a Q and a colon in front of the question so that we know that it is a question that we need to get to. So once again, glad that you are here. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Hopefully you had a good Monday. We're airing this Monday night. And if you've not already done so, go ahead and tell some of your friends that we are premiering, right? Our show is on right now. Send that link. Go ahead and let them know that we are here. And this is a good topic that I think everybody is going to benefit from. Also, if you've not already done so, go ahead and check us out on our social media platform. You'll see those there. LinkedIn, TikTok, of course, here every Monday night, and then our Twitter, and then buy me a coffee. As we said before, we are here every Monday night live. We've got exclusive health and wellness talk, except for tonight and then next week, right? We will be back after that to discuss with you the amazing topics that we have. Also, if you have already, if you've not done so, if you've not availed yourself of our coaching program, go ahead and do that. Let your folks and friends, family, everybody know that we are here and we are willing to help. We want to help get them unstuck. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. So attitude. So attitude, what is attitude? And I've asked some questions, right? So we've heard people say positive attitude, negative attitude. Hey, you have a bad attitude. You need an attitude adjustment. I guess some parents will say that to their kids, right? You've probably also heard the phrase that your attitude determines your altitude or your aptitude, right? So all of those things are things that we commonly hear, but what really is attitude? Your attitude is the lens through which you see the world and through which you interact with it and everything around you. Your attitude is that thing that helps you, that it allows you to see a situation, something that happens in a particular way. That is your attitude that does that. When someone gets you upset, it is your attitude, right, about relationships and interaction that allows you to respond to that person. When you are working a job, if everyone is not doing their job and you are the one person that's doing the job, it is your attitude that allows you to continue doing your best. When you're working for an organization that may not be totally organized, it is your attitude that says, hey, I can help. It is your attitude that drives how you interact with the world around you and how you see the world around you. You can have a positive attitude or you can have a negative attitude. Positive attitudes can lead to success. They can lead to increased financial gain. They can lead to better relationships, better quality of life. And negative attitudes can lead to the opposite. Okay. And so attitude is so important. And we're going to spend some time tonight on the show talking about the attitude. And a couple of questions, right? So number one, can the attitude really do all the things that we just described? Can really do all the things we just described. Now, I'm going to probably butcher this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. But Barry Black, who is the chaplain at the Senate, used to tell the story of coming in when he was in the military. Well, not when he was, but in the military. And he would come in early and he would leave late. He'd be the first one in and the last one out. First one in, last one out. And that went on and on and on. And guess what happened? He got noticed, right? When they were looking for people, hey, I wonder who are the soldiers? Who are the officers? Well, not officers. See, I'm butchering all of that, right? Who are the military men that are the ones that we want to promote? Guess who they began looking at? That's right. So as you are working in your job, as you are working in your world, as you are working in your life, you may not think people are watching, but people are watching you. And your attitude is what can draw them to you. So you're in a situation that a lot of people would think, oh, I can't do this. Right. I don't have the strength. I don't have the determination. They're just crazy around here. And it is your attitude that allows you to say, I am here to do a job. I'm going to do my job at the best of my ability. Right. Not necessarily because you're looking for them to notice, but that's your job. Right. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And your attitude allows you to do that. And as a result, yes, people notice. And when people notice, guess what happens, right? Then the prestige, then the acknowledgement, then the raises, then the money, then all those things come because of a positive attitude. Have you ever known anyone that every time you say, hey, let's try this, they're like, oh, yeah, I can't do that. Oh, let's try that. Oh, yeah, I can't do that. Or, oh, I can't do that. Why does that person not succeed? Because their attitude is one of, I can't. They see the world through the lens of, I can't do that. And as we've always said on this show, that your mind and your body will find evidence to support whatever you're telling it. So if you say you can't, right? If that's the lens through which you're looking at the world, where everything is something that I can't do, then there is no place for success. There's no place for achievement because you can't. On the other hand, if you say I can, if you see every obstacle, right, using that word, as an opportunity to overcome, as an opportunity to excel, as an opportunity to go higher, then every time something comes, right, that you're looking at, say, hey, that can be an obstacle. It's like, yeah, let's get over it. Here comes the other one. Oh, let's get over that one. Here comes this other thing that, quote unquote, we can't do, that people say we can't do. Well, come on, let's do it. And so your attitude allows you to move forward. So can the attitude do it? Of course it can, right? Of course it can. Your life is a reflection of your attitude, because your life is a reflection of the choices that you've made, and the choices that you've made are based on your attitude. Because remember that, right? That's what our life is a series of choices that we make. Now, I'm not meaning to insinuate or indicate or say that some people don't have a tough life. Yeah, there are people that have had a tough life from the time they were born. And it seems like they are scrapping and struggling all the time. But the question is this: why is it that some people come out of those situations and excel, and other people in the same situation or similar situations don't excel? And it is the attitude. It is the attitude. We can take two people and put them in a difficult situation. And if one person sees that situation as a box in which they're trapped and can't get out, then they accept their circumstances and their attitude to the world changes. They become bitter, resentful, negative. But the other person in that same situation sees this as a challenge for them to overcome. And so they're always climbing. How can I get out? How can I be better? How can I overcome this situation? How can I overcome these circumstances? And after a while, here comes the benefits. Because the benefits will come based on your attitude, based on your attitude. All right, so let's see. So your attitude is something that you can control. Your attitude is something you can control. A situation happens, and your attitude determines how you respond to it. So then, how do we control our attitude? We've got to cultivate behaviors and thoughts that are positive, that are motivational, that will help us go to the next level, that will help us see how to problem solve. Do you know that there's some times where our attitude about a situation is simply because we don't have the knowledge on how to successfully manage the situation? We have not learned how to problem solve. One of the challenges that we have, I think, in today's world is that we are not teaching anymore critical thinking. Yes, we're not teaching any more critical thinking. So our young people that are coming up with just information given to them and a conclusion handed to them. They don't have to work through and figure out the solution. So critical thinking is something that we've got to be able to do. And if we're going to be able to learn how to critically think about something, right, we need information. So we go back to that idea that we're always trying to feed ourselves. And if we can feed ourselves, if we can feed our mind, if we can feed our thoughts, if we can feed our imaginations, then sometimes the attitude gets better. So don't allow lack of knowledge or lack of a skill pigeonhole you into a particular way of thinking and ultimately into a particular attitude, right? So your attitude is something that you can control. Your attitude will attract like people to you. You know, they say birds of a feather flock together. That's right. Birds of a feather flock together. And so people of like minds tend to congregate with each other. So people who are negative tend to congregate with people who are negative. People who are always naysayers tend to congregate with people who are naysayers. If you have a positive attitude, a can-do-it attitude, let's do this, let's get at it, let's do it, right? Those people tend to congregate together. And if you are in a group and you recognize, you're watching this right now, and you recognize, hey, wait a minute, I've got to do something to change my attitude, then find some people who have the attitude that you want, right? But that's going to take you stepping outside of yourself. We'll come to that here in a minute. Take you stepping outside of yourself to find those people. Surround yourself with people whose thought processes you want. I'll give you a story. There's a guy that I met several years ago, and we were in the same city for a while. And we moved away from each other, right? So my wife and I moved, and they moved. And I recently reached out to him, right? Because I like how he thinks. I like how he problem solves. I like his thought process. And I am just reaching out just to be around this guy. Right. So that's one of my ways of improving myself, my mind, my attitude, right? I want to learn how to think critically, more critically. Right. So you've got to, if you think that you're there, if you think that, hey, I've got to improve myself, then you've got to go out, you've got to reach out. You know, they say, what's the movie? If you build it, they will come. No, they won't. You've got to get after it. And that takes a couple of things. Number one, it takes recognition. It takes recognition that you need a change. So if you're looking at your life and you say, man, things never work out for me. Man, my relationships are always bad. My jobs are always bad. My coworkers, I don't get along with people. You got to recognize, okay, something is wrong. And you've got to want to change that. That's the first thing. You've got to want to change it. Because if you don't recognize it, then that gets difficult. And the fact that you're watching this video, right? And comment in the video, right? Comment and send some comments, right? The fact that you're watching this is a sign that you are recognizing that, okay, I need a change. I need to do something differently. So you got to recognize. And you have to be open and willing to accept that change will be uncomfortable. I was going to say change may be uncomfortable, and I changed that. No, change is uncomfortable. We like to stay in the place where it's safe, where everything feels good. And if we stay in places that are safe and everything feels good, we may survive. But as I heard in a movie some time ago, survival is not enough. You don't just want to survive. You want to live that life that you've always wanted. Something is going on. You're not quite sure. You're not happy where you are, right? There's more that you think that's out there. You're not quite sure what it is, maybe. Or maybe you have an idea. But you've got to want it. You've got to hunger for it. And sometimes you've got to scrap and fight. And you got to fight everything in you that may be telling you, no, don't do it. That's dangerous. Don't go out there. Don't step out. Don't put yourself out there. Don't strive. Don't try to succeed. Don't try to be better. Oh, yeah, I know those thoughts come. And sometimes it's a fight. But let me tell you now, you are worth it. You're worth the fight. because when you are able to recognize that you need a change and understand that change can be and will be difficult, but you have determined that, yeah, I'm going to do this because I want better, you succeed. You succeed. Number 3, it is a process. It is a process. I would love to tell you that tomorrow, next week, next month, a year from now, that magically you'll wake up and everything is going to be perfect. Your attitude will be great. That's not the reality. The reality is that you will improve. You will get better, but it's always getting better, right? So even when you have reached the top of your game, all right, now let's get another game. So it is not an event. My attitude is not an event. It is a process. It is a journey. It is growth. It's changing. It's dynamic. So you got to recognize it. You have to realize, hey, it's going to be, it's going to be painful. It is a journey. And you've got to also know, and you've also got to recognize that in this journey, it is not the destination. Listen to me. It is not the destination, but it is the journey. There's a place that we're heading. There are some things that we want, right? Whatever it is, and you just throw it in there. You can put it in the chat. Throw whatever is in your mind. A bigger house, bigger car. A better marriage. As you go through the process of changing your attitude, all of those things are reachable, but you change as you take the journey. Let me say that again. So you become a better person. You become a better spouse, a better worker, a better brother, sister, mother, father, a better financial person, better caretaker. You become a better person on the journey. So that when you achieve the bigger house, the more money, the whatever it is that you were looking for, you've not brought the same person with you to that destination. The person that shows up, oh yeah, that's a different person. And that's the beauty of the attitude. And so my challenge to you is this. We have a set of courses that we're putting together. One is already out there. It's called the self-talk lesson. Self-talk lesson. We'll put the link in the chat or in the description. I want you to go through and do the self-talk lesson and begin working on yourself, because your attitude so important. So important. You're well worth it. So what I'd like you to do, if you have not already done so, go ahead and make sure that you Get to all of our social media platforms. Check us out, and you'll see all the things that we're doing there. We will be back next week with a pre-recorded video as well. And then the following week, we'll be back live here where we have exclusive health and wellness talk. We thank you so much for hanging out with us. And let's do this. Let's just go and let's do our thought of the day. So our thought of the day is one of my favorite clips from Coach Carter. If you guys saw the movie, spoiler maybe here. So Coach Carter is trying to teach the young men on his basketball team that there's more than just basketball. And the community around him doesn't quite get it. And his team doesn't quite get it. And he goes through this process of actually losing his job. And in the end, there's one of my favorite scenes. And Rick Gonzalez, playing the part of Timo Cruz, recites part of Marianne Williamson's poem. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. And I like that quote because it is where a lot of us live. We are powerful. We are creative. We are strong. But we're playing small. Our fear sometimes is our fear of success, and it frightens us. It frightens us that we may be able to escape the gravity pull of our current circumstances. It scares us that we can expand our wings and soar because it's uncomfortable when we're soaring. It scares us that within us there is a thought, there is a book, there is an invention, there is a course, there is a relationship, there is an idea. And we have to put ourselves out there. But you know, you're playing small, you're staying where you are, you're minimizing what you can do. You're staying in that job, in that situation, doesn't serve the world. The power and the brilliance that you bring to our community, to our world, is gone if you stay where you are. So it's uncomfortable. You may be afraid, but it's not the fear of being inadequate. Is the fear of the power that's within you. So let's do it together. Let's walk through it together. That's what we do here. Let's move to the life we've always wanted. Because you can do it. Because you are powerful beyond measure. And that's our thought for today. So, do you want to be enthusiastic or pessimistic? Do you want to be positive or negative? It's your choice. Attitude is not something that you're born with or that you inherit from your parents. So if you want a positive attitude, you've got to go for it. You've got to go get it. You've got to cultivate it. You got to fight for it. If you want a better life, get a better attitude. Thank you for being with us tonight. We will see you next week at our next video. This is Dr. Dwayne Wood, encouraging, educating, empowering, so that you can get to that next level and you can get the life you've always wanted. Thank you. Good night. Let's get some music and let's get on out of here.